celebrate the life and the legacy of Denise Ajala. We come together today to acknowledge our grief and acknowledging our human loss. In pain, may we find comfort in sorrow, hope, and in death, the promise of peace forevermore. Our Lives Matter, from the poem by M. Maureen Kilran. We come together from the diversity of our grieving to gather in the warmth of this community, giving stubborn witness to our belief that in times of sadness there is room for laughter. In times of darkness there will always be room for light. May we hold fast to that conviction that what we do with our lives matters, and that a caring world is possible after all. Today, we give thanks for Denise's life among ours, for all the good memories, the warm moments, the gracious gifts, and the love that was shared through her. We offer our gratitude and our joy. Her life was a life that showed a caring world. A more gentle world is possible after all. So today, we join with one another with sadness in our hearts, with words that are aching to be spoken and questions aching to be answered, hearts aching for love, arms aching for embracing. We come with wounds aching to be healed, and emptiness aching to be filled, with joy aching to overflow. So today, may love enter our spirits and our souls like a soothing balm, and leave relief where there once was an ache, so that all of us may say today that we met hope today, we met love today, and that everyone was touched today, once more with goodness and with grace. Thank you for coming on this morning to honor Denise and the life that she lived. We do not want to forget the years that she gave in her caring way, goodness and enduring love to those of us here. We don't want to forget what her life has meant, what it will always mean to those who knew her best, who love her, and who always will. This next bit of sacred poetry speaks of something eternal, something that is stronger than anything. Everything else in this world is stronger. Its words speak of love, the only thing that ultimately really matters. I speak in the tongues of people and of angels, but do not have love. I am only a resounding gong or a clanging cymbal. If I have the gift of prophecy and cannot fathom mysteries and knowledge, and if I have a faith that can move mountains but do not have love, I am nothing. If I give all I possess to the poor and surrender my body to the flames but not have love, I gain nothing. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It is not rude. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never ends. It's the one thing that endures above everything else in this world. It's love. As simple as that. It never ends. It's never taken away. It consistently overcomes and conquers all the brokenness, distress, all the disappointment, all the disease, all the disability, and all the death in this world. When we feel as if we could break under the pain of loss and grief, we can be reminded today, in this time of grief and remembrance, love is in this place today. As you come together and to understand and accept Denise's passing, but definitely much too young in age. In my years as a professional listener, working to provide better human connections and to understand one another better, all of us complicated people, it's been my sacred privilege to hear countless stories about people's lives. Their joys, their sorrows, their hopes, their fears, their accomplishments, their regrets, their goodness, and their flaws. I love to tell those stories. There is so much richness and beauty in every one of our stories, in every one of us. What a privilege it is today to tell the goodness and breadth of Denise's story, as we remember the daughter, the mother, the sister, the aunt, the friend, and the caring soul whom Denise was. Denise came into this world on Thursday, May 15, 1969, in Upper Darby, Pennsylvania, to her parents, Dr. Larry and Anita Samples. She was accompanied on that day by her twin sister, Lori. Her body left this world on Wednesday, November 12, 2025, in the Carolyn Croxton Slane Hospice residence in the Harrisburg suburbs after a courageous battle with cancer. She was privileged to be part of the family who now survives her. Her mother, Anita, her daughters, Kayla, Kristen, Lori, her twin, brother Eric, and his sons Liam and Marshall, and all the rest, all of whom miss her deeply. She was also fond of her two dogs, Mickey and Milo, who is also deceased, and of her two cats, Garfield and Ginger, making sure that they receive the best care every day. Surely they miss her too. Denise was a 1987 graduate of Lower Dauphin High School here in Hummelstown, and a 1996 graduate of Millersville University in Millersville, not too far south of here, where she received her bachelor's degree in psychology. Denise loved her job as a registrar for Merrick Key here in central Pennsylvania, which is a provider of developmental, behavioral health, and education services for the community. Denise also worked part-time at Traditions of Hershey, the senior living community just to the east of us in Palmyra. She and her co-workers there helped the residents participate in activities and events. Denise enjoyed playing trivia, listening to music, staying abreast of politics. I think her father did too. And he made his opinions be known. Reading and contributing to Facebook, being part of family events, and most especially watching her favorite sports on TV. She always looked forward to hanging out with her family and to watch the Eagles play. She had fun traveling across the country with her father, Larry, to attend Eagles games with him and with Eric, her brother. Thankfully, her final season following the Eagles so far is a winning season. So that's a good thing to know too. The Phillies also didn't have a bad season. also a beloved team for her. Denise was involved in this community as a member of the former Hummelstown Women's Club. She was a huge 80s music fan. She enjoyed burning candles and never had enough shoes or jewelry. While she was not working, Denise could be found watching a Lifetime movie or an episode of The Golden Girls. I wonder which one she was most like. Denise liked to be in the know. She was always up to date on local and world news and never missed an opportunity to post on Facebook. She had been treated for melanoma for 3 years. Following weeks of headaches, unfortunately, it had been recently discovered at the Hershey Medical Center that the tumors had gone to her brain. And even after being operated on, the tumors continued to grow. And after receiving the sad, if not devastating news in her final days that Denise would need to be cared for at the Carolyn Croxton Lane Hospice Residence, where she died peacefully. Her family, I want you to know that they cannot say enough about the wonderful treatment that she received at both places, both the hospital and the hospice residence, and we can be grateful for that. In her compassion and empathy, Denise would want everyone whom she knew to be checked by a physician for melanoma. Denise was quiet and kind, a very gentle person. She often kept to herself, not revealing the problems that she might have had. Above all, her greatest passion was for Caleb and Kristen. Her world revolved around them, and everything they did, they meant the world to her. You meant the world to her. She loved watching them play sports and encouraged them in all of the things that they did. And she simply just loved being with them and spending time together. In addition, she loved her daughter's friends as her own and made everyone feel welcome and accepted in her home. Lori wants to share that Denise was soft-spoken. She treated everyone with kindness. And Lori shares that my friends became her friends. And if she knew a person was important to you, she strongly loved that person as well. Denise was part of me, and I miss her very much. I know that it's really hard in many ways to accept that Denise has left this life, even when we may know that she's at peace. But it's so much different without her now, right here. I know that when we leave this place today, it will still be hard to comprehend. There are no easy answers, no simple answers at times like these, no simple and easy answers during times of loss. I just think, though, that the best answer, maybe the only answer that we need today and always, every day, is just to rely on love. Love to get us through. To rely on the love of Denise that is still felt so strongly today and always will be, is what we need in sad and painful times. That love, which is actually a sacred, sacred gift. That love never ends. In time, little by little, moment by moment, that love will calm you, soothe you, wash over you and carry you and warm you, and finally heal you, and provide you with the answers and the comfort and the reassurance and the peace you need. That love is our best hope. That love never fails us or abandons us. As we are reminded today that love never ends, in this sad and difficult time, we can celebrate and give thanks for that. We can have the enduring hope that Denise, this day, is resting from her struggles, from her distress, in peace. And we can give thanks that she is no longer having to endure pain or disappointment upon this earth. Her legacy is now yours to share. Her love is now yours to give. Denise's family wanted me to ask if there are those of you among us who would like to share a very brief thought about the Denise you knew and are here to celebrate today. Now, the one hitch is, we got started really late. Because there are wonderfully, so many of you here today. At the same time, there is a feast waiting at the First Italian Lodge for everyone to come to. And it's going to be soon time to serve it. So we can't stay too long here if you want warm food, if you go. So just for anyone who'd like to talk, please try to keep it brief if you can. And so that but share from your heart. And you can come up here if you want to. You can also stand where you are and talk loudly. It's up to you. So invite anyone who would like to share. Take this time to share that.
Everybody's wearing a green, but anyone who knows Denise, right there too. I get the text messages. What the hell is Castiano swinging at? You know? So, those that don't know, my name's Eric. I'm her beloved brother. I got I know how tremendous my sister is and was, but when she can get a bunch of yins from Pittsburgh who wear some Eagles pins, I think that's even better. So, a wonderful person. But as great as she is, she did, and you said it so well, Lori, that Denise, if you loved her or him, Denise loved her or him. And who Denise is, I'll share a silly quick story. We were kids and fighting about something, who knows what, I was probably right. We went to bed mad, and I went to bed, and then maybe an hour later or something, my sister came in and said goodnight or something. She left the room, and I acted like I didn't hear her. I was acting like I was asleep. She came back in and gave a quick kiss on the cheek and went back out of the room. I never talked about it, but I always remember that from my sister. That's who she was. But she is who she is because of my mom, my dad, my wife, my sister, my nieces, my sons, and everybody in this room. If someone's in this room, you affected Denise in a wonderful way. She is love. She is friendship. She wasn't a girl of many words, but I feel bad sometimes. I didn't have the relationship in the sense that I could go days and weeks without talking to Denise and just pick up wherever we left off. Lori and the girls and mom and everyone else, talked all the time. But when we talked, we never missed a beat. Of course, it was probably about this or probably about the Eagles or something else. Or I tried to get her in the 10th state, but I don't know. Very successful at that. So I love her, I miss her, but I know she's up there with Dad, going to criticize Penn State later on for, not carrying the ball in the outside hand, or the Phillies for not choking up on the bat, or the Eagles for, for throwing when they should have run or something like that. But that was all right. People go, what's with the Eagles and what's with all this? That's what made her happy. I tell people all the time, my favorite place in the whole world was that chair beside my dad in the Lazy Boy watching the Eagles. and then my sister, and then my mom, and now it was Denise, and that was my place of home. That was my place of love, traveling with Denise. It's just, everybody has their thing, and that was our thing. So, go Birds, go Fightins. I love you, Denise, and thank you for everybody for coming.
Hi, I'm Lori. I'm the twin, the older twin. 3 minutes. And I made sure she let everybody know that, even in the hospital. There was one time in the hospital, one time in the hospital, she said, for whatever reason in the neuro INC where she was at Hershey, either her nurses were pregnant, they were a twin, they were having twins. It was just very strange. So we talked to a lot of them about, you know, what it's like to have a twin. And at one point she had some periods of confusion being in the hospitals for so long. So I remember one night before we left, we walked over and Mom went over and says, "Who am I?" And she goes, "You're my mom." And then Eric walked over and goes, "Who am I?" You're Eric. She walked over and I walked over to her and I said, "Well, who am I?" Because every time I would go in to see her, I'd be like in her face. "Hello, I'm here," you know, and she said, "You're my best friend." So, yes, she was. She was. I feel like part of me's missing. But I have these two that help me because I see her so much in both of you. She loved you and will always be here for you. She's going to be very happy because tomorrow the Eagles play Dallas.
I'm Kayla. I'm her eldest. I'm gonna try not to blubber up here like an idiot. So, I really just want to say thank you all for coming, and it means so much. I knew, we just had to do this for our grandfather last year. I have a lot of peace knowing that Mom, who's with him now, was so hard on her for all of us, and he was her best friend. They was in the Eagles games, the Phillies games, all this stuff, and I have a lot of peace knowing that she's with him now. She's not in pain anymore. The last 3 years have been a lot for everyone, just since she was diagnosed, and but she was so much more than just a cancer patient. I feel like sometimes she forgot that. She was our mom. She was a sister, a friend. She's a niece, a cousin, daughter, a grandmeow, she would say. Got my cats that she loved them, and she just has done a lot growing up that probably didn't really please her very much, but she was just the best and so supportive of me no matter what I did. I was the first. I was the trial run. I like to think she did a pretty good job. So I just want to thank you all for coming. It means so much to us and me and my sister. And my mom was love. She was light. She brought so much love into our home. She brought love into my friend's home. When anytime she walked through our door, she was their mom too. No one called her Denise. They don't call her mom. So I just want to thank you guys for coming.
Allow me to say a few words with Laura's permission. I'm Kayla and Christy's dad. About 34 years ago, or 35 years, 34, I think, I had dinner in Denise's house with her parents. It was like a case of the guest who's coming to dinner. I was welcome. I'd like to acknowledge the rock of this family, who's also been a mother to Carol and Kristen. Anita. Thank you. Thank you for all that you do for my daughters. Thank you for being their mom. Thank you for caring for them. And for our friends and family, I just wanted to say thank you. Denise was a best friend to those who know her. She had a rare ability to listen without judgment. She'll offer support without hesitation. And she gives freely. Giving alone is our essence. She's the biggest supporter of the kids. They're her world. And she is in their hearts. We're all better for having to know Denise. She was a light in our lives, and memory will continue to live on. Denise is kind. She's a wonderful human being. She never passes judgment on anyone. She was a blessing to me. Rest in peace, please.
Hi, I'm Kristen. I've been at a loss for words for a couple of months, so I'll keep it brief. I think one thing that my mom has taught me is that it takes a village, but she was so beautiful, and I think about her every day, and I miss her every day. I'm so used to calling her, but I know that she's with me, and I'm grateful. Thank you, everybody, for coming.
Is there anyone else?
Go Birds. I'm Audrey. I was Denise's best friend in high school, and she was my best friend. And a lot of people know Denise, and one of the things about Denise is that we've all said she's very quiet, and she doesn't say a lot. But she's incredibly strong, and that was what drew me to her. You didn't know that she was as strong as she was until you got to know her. And it wasn't always what she said, but how she acted. And there was a time, I'll tell you a story about Denise in high school. We went to the beach. It was senior week. A time that we're all there to look our best. And we're attempting to be beautiful people for the boys who are walking on the boardwalk. And so we go to the beach. And we are putting our suntan on, our sunscreen on, because that's very important, as we all now know even more. And Denise realized, she digs in her bag, that she only had the roll-on sunscreen. I didn't have anything, I had baby oil. So I couldn't help her. So she attempts to protect her skin with the roll-on. She rolls it on, does all that stuff with her bathing suit. stay on the sun for a couple of hours. Now it's time to go home, back to her room, getting takes a shower, and she realizes that she looks like a candy cane. Yes, a candy cane, literally a candy cane. And any not strong person, not confident person would have stayed in her room for the rest of the day and the rest of the week. But Denise instead, in her quiet strength, said, "It's me, here I am." And we walked up and down the boardwalk with her candy cane legs and her candy cane arms. It didn't bother her. I'm sure it didn't bother her a little bit, but she had that strength to say, I'm not going to miss hanging out with the people that I want to be with and doing the things I want to do just because I look like a candy cane. And I see that strength in Kristen and Kayla. And I haven't seen them for a while. When I walked in, I saw them, and I just irradiate that same confidence that your mom had. So, get your skin checked.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Denise Ajala. I'm Christine and Kayla's aunt. This is immediate older sister. And you said it all, it was very important. Love. I want to talk to all of us about love. That, to me, is the legacy Denise left. I'm talking about black and white. Very important. Denise loved. Her love was colorless. Very important in this world, especially today. It just hit me. Just sitting here and watching everything and reflecting on Denise. She was my very good friend. I'm going to thank her this. Yes, she, one of the things I really appreciated her for, just like my brother said, I never stopped telling her every time we talked about how much she was there for the kids, how much she loved them, and how much we appreciate her being there. But Denise's love, my goodness, my brother's remarried. Her love crosses all that boundary. She reaches out to them by the end of the marriage. She reaches out to that other wife, to the daughter, and she would always talk about them. Oh, well, even in her last weeks we were talking, she was suggesting certain things she wanted the girls to do. You know, this and that, and I'm like, that's extraordinary. I hope all of us hold that in our hearts today. No, that's what it's all about. I'm going to miss Denise like everyone else. But I'm going to say this one last funny thing about her. Actually, I said it to the girls a few years ago. We were all out somewhere talking, and I think we wanted to eat. Denise was there. And pardon me, I'm just going to say her very words. But it was so funny to me, and I have that memory of her, and I feel every time it comes to mind, I giggle. So we're talking about people hiking and being attacked by other people and everything, and everybody's yakking, and Denise was like, I don't know why anybody would do that. People just just need a whole pepper spray and sprayed up their ass. You know? I'm like, Denise? I remember that about her. She was really funny, but she was a very good friend. If I ever, every time I think about Denise, I know that it's that love that's going to come up. I hope that speaks to everybody.
I'm Danya. I'm one of Kayla and Kristen's friends. I'm one of three, apparently, because everyone keeps getting us confused. First, I wanted to say thank you to Miss Denise for giving me one of my best friends and her sister, because we're all together now. We actually met because me and Kayla, I don't know what we did, but whatever we did, our parents abandoned us. They said, we can't deal with this anymore. They left us in here. You guys talk to each other.
we're leaving. We just can't deal with you two. And we've actually been attached at the hip since then. And I think, 10 years, 7 years. And I think I speak for a lot of Kayla and Kristen's friends when I say that Miss Denise wasn't just a second mom, she was our safe place. If, I think if a lot of us didn't know where to go, we know that we could go to her. And I truly love her.
Is there anyone else?
Hi, I'm Asia. I'm Kristen's friend, and I just wanted everyone to know that Denise did speak much, but every year on my birthday she sent me an emoji and said happy birthday. And then I sent her one back because our birthdays are 5 days apart. And yeah, thanks.
As we close today, I want to share this bit of poetry too. This is the silent haven, a thinker of pure thoughts, a speaker of brave words, a doer of generous deeds, has reached this silent haven that all the dead have reached, and where the voyage of life, every life, must end. And we, her friends, who even now are hastening after her, are meant to do the last kind acts that people may do for other people, to tell her virtues, and to lay with tenderness and tears her ashes in the sacred place of rest and peace. So now, may we go from this place with love always.